And we're back. Before we go on to this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for future videos when they're uploaded. We got more stories. Am I the asshole?
We're kind of having fun with the Am I the Asshole stories this week.
Oh, yeah.
So I found one. This is really interesting. I think you're going to have a lot to say about this.
Mm-hmm.
So the title is Am I the Asshole for Spending Child Support Meant for One Child on All of My Kids? And here's the story. So I, 32 female, have 4 kids. I have 2 with my first ex husband, who is currently addicted to drugs and has no contact with our kids. Another child with my second ex husband, and an infant with my now ex-boyfriend. Yes, my love life is shit, and I don't plan to date until my kids are way older. I'll just stick to my toys and romance novels. Anywho, I only received child support for my child with my second ex-husband. He has an extremely well-paying job, and I receive $2,000 a month.
Holy shit.
Yeah. He is the only partner I split custody with, and he has set up a trust fund for our son that he will have access to when he's 18. With the $2,000 I receive, I invest half of that into my eldest child's tuition. He attends a very prestigious private high school, and even with the full ride scholarship he was given, boarding and books weren't included, so I have to pay for his boarding every month. It's around 2,500 a month, and I cover the other 1.5 out of my own expenses. The other 1,000 I receive goes towards all of my kids, their food, clothes, and miscellaneous things. To clarify, I pay my own rent and bills. For example, my other child with my first ex-husband was invited on a trip with her friend's family to Disneyland during winter break, so I spent a good chunk of the money on her plane ticket, the Disney ticket, food, and other things. Or maybe my second son with my second ex-husband wants a new expensive toy he saw on YouTube, so I go and buy it for him. And with a new baby, having that extra chunk of money to spend on everything he needs is very beneficial. I never really discussed finances with other people. Last night, I went out with an old friend, and the drinks started flowing. She was asking how I handle all my financial obligations raising 4 kids so young, and I did mention that the child support I receive from my second ex-husband not only helps keep things afloat, but the extra money every month that I don't use is in a savings account for a rainy day. My friend flipped out. She said it's wrong I use money the court ordered to be used on my son on all my other kids. Since their fathers aren't in their lives, it's my responsibility to pick up the slack and not my second ex-husband's. I tried explaining that my son will never have to worry about finances his entire life, but my other kids will. She told me I'm money hungry, and if my ex-husband was smart, he'd challenge the court to lessen the payment if he knew I was spending most of it on my other kids. I'm not going to struggle when I have the money to give all my kids a better life, but being called a bad mother rocked my world, and I need to know if I'm wrong for what I'm doing. Am I the asshole?
I agree with her friend. 100% I agree with her friend. That's wrong. If he paid less money, let's just say he paid $1,000 a month, she would not have enough money to do what she's doing currently right now with to pay for the rest, her other kids.
Yeah.
That's wrong.
In this particular situation, I think she's the asshole. Um, because if she was paying using that money to pay for the rent and utilities, that would be one thing.
Yep.
But she's using half of it to pay for her other child's tuition that isn't even the child that she's receiving the money for. So $1,000 a month is going to private school tuition on a child that isn't even this man's child.
And this is why I'm a firm, true believer.
Oh,
You
Lord.
already know what I'm about to say.
Mm.
Itemize the receipts to see where the child support is actually going. Because she would not be able to get away with what she's doing if she had to show proof of where his child support is specifically going. Because if she was buying certain toys or certain money, I don't think the father, certain money, I'm sorry, certain toys for these children with the child support, he is not going to mind.
But paying for another child's tuition or paying for a different
He would
child
have a problem
to
with
go
it.
to Disney and things like that and squirreling it away for a rainy day, yeah, I see a problem with that.
He would have a problem with that.
Now, I don't think I mean, I think itemizing child support expenses is a little extreme, um, in most cases, because most cases people aren't receiving $2,000 a month child
No,
support.
he's a very well off individual for being successful in his career. He so he's doing well, obviously.
Mhm.
So he should not be punished for other deadbeat fathers.
No. I mean, I don't know. Like, I see child support as more of a reimbursement for costs paid, because I use my child support goes into that I receive goes into my bank account and it gets commingled with the money that I earn from my job. That money then in turn gets turned around and pays for my rent, my car payment, my car insurance, all the utilities, gas, internet, groceries, you name it. So it's
Right, but not all states do that though. Some states give a debit card that the child support goes to.
if you go through a child support enforcement, yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
which honestly I don't have a problem going through the enforcement agency because you're covered no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You have proof. So if your company's not paying it, that's up to your company. Unfortunately, it comes on to you if it's not being paid because you're not keeping track of your responsibility to make sure she is receiving that by looking online because where you can actually go online in a child support enforcement agency and see payment received, sent, whatever the
yeah.
case may be. You can see the amount being taken from your check, and then you can actually go online and say, okay, did they take this amount and pay this amount? You can do that and be responsible. Follow up with your employer. Follow up with what child support is doing. You got to babysit two people that wants to cover your own ass.
With the child support I've received over my children's lives, I've never taken it to child support enforcement. Um, just having had family and friends had to deal with child support enforcement in the past on both sides of it, I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy sometimes with the incompetency of a government agency, and of course they want their cut and, it's not always the best. So I didn't want to put my trust in them and it's been fine. I was lucky in that way. It's been fine. It's worked out. Um, but I don't necessarily and I don't necessarily agree with the person paying the child support getting to see where all of that money is going specifically. Just because there are some men that are ex-husbands for a reason, because they're controlling and narcissistic um and would nitpick it to like, oh well you spent $185 at Walmart. I need to see that Walmart receipt to know exactly what it was that you
I
paid.
see
No.
what you're saying, but I really don't see it that way. I look at it as is she using that money for her personal gain, her personal life? Now, if she took that money and paid the rent, or if they bought a house, a mortgage, and used that $2,000 to pay the rent or mortgage and utility bill, gas bill, water bill, and all the bills in the house, I myself, is if I was him, I can only speak for myself. I would not have a problem with that. Granted, you are paying the mortgage or slash rent for somebody else's husband, your ex-wife's husband, and other previous guy's kids in the house. There's nothing you can do about that because child support's going to look at it as, well, you're paying the rent. Fine, whatever. But if I know for a fact that my money's specifically going to other people's children because their fathers are deadbeat pieces of shit, I have no sympathy. I think that's wrong. She's
No.
the asshole in this one.
She's definitely the
Yeah,
asshole in this one. She's definitely the asshole in this one, and I would be surprised if the friend didn't go to the ex and tell him what she was doing
that's a good point.
because
That's a really good point because but it can turn up that can turn it up a lot.
Mhm.
That can get pretty ugly very fast, believe it or not.
Yeah, overwhelmingly the comments agree she is the asshole.
Good.
I'm not surprised. Someone says, "I'm baffled. It sounds like she's spending the vast majority of the money on the other kids and not the one who it's for." So, and that's exactly right. It's the vast majority of the money's going towards other kids.
Mhm.
So, yeah, that's an asshole move for sure.
Definitely not his problem that she picked bad dudes.
No, no.
She picked a good one. Rather they divorced for whatever reason, for either he cheated or she cheated, or that just didn't work out for whatever reason. At least she had a good role model of what a man should do and take care of responsibility and do the right thing by paying child support.
So, yeah, one out of her four kids is
A good person, oh, a good father figure.
one baby daddy out of four ain't bad.
Did it say that she's trying to have more, or she wants another one?
No,
Okay,
it's let's see, she has four kids. She has two with the first ex-husband, one with the second ex-husband, and a baby with a now ex-boyfriend. So she's got four kids, three baby daddies.
I hope to God she got fixed.
I mean, we can hope. We can hope. I mean, she did say that she doesn't plan to date anymore until her kids are older, but never say never, you know.
Yeah,
Said I wasn't getting married again. Here we are.
here we are. Well, tune in the next time on Am I the Asshole?